Hey folks, my name is Manuel, I'm a German filmmaker and photographer, and in this video I'm going to share with you my experience in the quarantine hotel Maple in Bangkok, where I stayed for the last 15 nights. The direct view from my room to the rooftop terrace opposite made me really look forward to my first COVID test, which then would allow me to actually go there myself and have at least for an hour a day a change in perspective, enjoy the sunset, and maybe talk to some people face to face.
Well, that was not so nice. Let's hope for negative results though. So apparently there was just some knocking on my door and I got a red wristband, meaning my corona test was negative yesterday. The result came one day earlier than expected, so that's cool. I can enjoy the sunset today on the rooftop. That's epic.
I was really looking forward to this change in perspective. Packed up my camera and tripod and was ready to catch the sunset, but...
So apparently I kind of misunderstood and I can't go to the rooftop. I only can go to the rooftop after like the last 3 days or so. So now I'm only allowed to be in this area.
At least that's what I thought at that moment. It turned out that I won't be able to access the rooftop terrace at all during my stay. As I was quite curious why that is, I got in touch with the hotel and they explained to me that all tourists entering Thailand at the moment are divided into 3 groups, depending on their risk to carry corona. So the rooftop access is limited to people from the lowest risk group, and the garden is then split into 2 different areas for the remaining 2 categories, where I also fall into one of those. After the second COVID test though, all groups will only be allowed to access the pool area for their remaining 3 days in the hotel. So they make sure that all the people coming from different areas at the different stages of quarantine don't mix amongst each other. And 2 days after I spoke to the very friendly guy from the hotel management, I got a call in the morning and they generously offered me to change the room to a room with a better view. So I won't be able to have a look at the room beforehand. So I just can go with it again and see how that new room will look like. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna pack up all my stuff as well as all the plastic I collected already. One staff from the hotel came by after lunch, brought all of my stuff as well as my trash, which I packed into some plastic bags. Unfortunately, one of them fell to the ground and the bottles were splashing over the ground, which was quite embarrassing. Anyhow, he brings me into the other building. We go up to the 14th story and I enter this room and I'm like blown away. Like I had for the last couple of days, I had the best view I could have imagined about, and it's simply so rewarding to go out there and just look at the city. And I actually felt suddenly, oh wow, I'm in Thailand now, because before I was only looking at other people which were tourists, and here I step onto the balcony and I see what actually makes Thailand for me. The traffic, I see the taxis in their distinguished colors, see the street food stalls, and all that stuff which make, like, I don't know, it just felt like more like being in Thailand. I think this room would be more pricey usually, so it was kind of a free upgrade for the second week, which I'm very, very thankful for. So how does a usual day look like, or how did my usual day look like during the quarantine I had here? Usually I got up around 8 in the morning, had breakfast.
Today I'm having Thai breakfast. It's basically a salty porridge with some meat in it. It's also one of my favorite breakfasts I had here in the quarantine hotel.
Set myself the goal to not sleep in here in my time, to be a bit productive during my days and not procrastinate all the time, because I tend to do that. And obviously in an closed environment like during a quarantine, it's very easy to just do nothing and just watch YouTube or Netflix all day, which I also did. But I started to at least get up at 8, had another coffee. After that second coffee, I usually did a 10 to 15 minute meditation. I did a Vipassana retreat 2 years ago and I really enjoyed doing that, but I kind of stopped practicing. So that was another goal I set myself for those 2 weeks. After that, I usually started to work around 1.5 to 2 hours in the morning before lunch arrived. A bit early today, around 10 minutes after 11, but maybe I'll leave it a bit. Today I'm having spaghetti with tomato sauce alongside salmon and accompanied by some slightly soggy garlic bread, which still tastes pretty good. After lunch, I also set another goal to do some exercise, not every day, but every other day. Luckily then, my friend Sandy, who's a fitness trainer in Germany, she offered me to do online training with me, which I'm super thankful for, because training with someone professional really helps me to, first of all, stay motivated and obviously do the actual exercises correctly. I also try to do something productive every day besides working on the computer, something creative or whatever, just get something done.
Dinner just arrived. I opted for chicken with veggies and a potato smash. I'm gonna dig in and afterwards clean up the mess I did just earlier, taking a couple of pictures with all the trash I collected during my time here.
As the environment is a topic that's close to my heart, even though I take long-haul flights, I'm aware of that. I was quite shocked to see the amount of single-use plastics I got to use during my stay. So from day one on, I decided to collect all the plastics and then make something out of it at the end of my stay. I understand that until the first COVID test, it may be a health issue to wash the dishes, but personally I would have loved to have a proper dishes after the first COVID test, and then obviously through that I would have used less plastics. I could have changed it probably up front if I would have chosen another hotel, which then would have probably been out of my budget. So yeah, that's the same thing like with long-haul flights. On one hand, I personally don't want to have this big carbon footprint. On the other hand, I decided to travel 2.5 years ago. I got to know my girlfriend here. So yeah, what you gonna do? It's kind of this weird situation, and I just try to do as much as possible in my daily life to reduce my personal impact. Also in the evenings, after my girlfriend was home, we had a call. Now that we're in the same time zone, that's obviously very easy to catch up. Sometimes I was running a bit, which was also quite nice to have a bit counterbalance to my other exercise I was doing. And then was basically looking forward to the second COVID test. I'm not really looking forward to it, but let's go. I'm sorry. Yes. So once more, that was not really pleasant, but after this one I should be fine for my time here in Thailand. But what you gonna do? Freedom is around the corner. So I just received the white wristband, meaning obviously my second COVID test was also negative, and so I can go to this pool area downstairs. As I already expected, you're not allowed to actually swim. So if you're not fortunate like me and can have a room up here, then obviously it's very nice for the last couple of days to be out here and have a bit of a view of the outside world at least. So, and as I said, today is my last evening here. According to this official plan, that's the evening of day 14, even though I'm already here for 15 days. But that's just as they count the first day as day 0. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm free, so to say. I'm really looking forward to see my girlfriend, to see her family again, and then yeah, enjoy my time in Thailand. Unfortunately, I lost all the footage of the morning I got to leave the hotel, which was not really interesting anyways. I just got handed my test results as well as a certificate stating that my quarantine was completed. And now I'm really looking forward to spend the next 2.5 months in Thailand together with my girlfriend and her family.